everybody, I'm Ashley Ammons and welcome to Fredonia Faces. We got a great show for you tonight. We will be talking with some individuals from the senior class along with Terry Brown, the provost. Later on, we will also be listening to Taylor Latour perform I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. Well, hello ladies, thank you for coming today. Well, before we begin our interview, we have a brief video to talk about what Senior Challenge is. Stay tuned.
So, what is the Senior Challenge?
Senior Challenge.
What is Senior Challenge?
Obviously, Senior Challenge is seniors who want to be challenged.
I forgot what I was supposed to say.
I thought that these were going to be other classes that I was supposed to take to make, my transcripts look good.
I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Isn't there like money?
That's why I'm here. I'm a 4.0 student. Is that not what this is? Is that not what this is?
It's the thing. And seniors doing stuff. Doing the things. Seniors doing the things.
I'm supposed to say the actual stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, money. Money.
Aren't you on the committee?
What is Senior Challenge?
I'm trying to think of a full sentence. I really want to explain it good.
Is that what I'm supposed to say?
It's... Aren't we all Senior Challenge?
Senior Challenge is actually a group of highly motivated seniors that come together and challenge the rest of the class to donate $20.16 to our class gift. This year, the class gift is going to be an outdoor pavilion stage. Don't forget to donate.
That you should be a part of. Senior Challenge.
I'm back with Tracy and Stephanie from the Senior Class Committee. Thank you girls for coming.
Thank you.
Now, Senior Class Committee, what are your roles?
I am president and chair of the Senior Challenge Committee.
Now,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We talk over each other.
I'm vice chair of the committee.
now, can you ladies explain your roles in the Senior Class Committee?
Yeah, so it's kind of like two separate things. Like we have the senior class, which I'm president of, and that's kind of through the student association. And then typically the senior class president will also chair the Senior Challenge Committee. So they're kind of combined. So a big part of that is making a committee. That was my first thing to do in the beginning of the semester. Once we had that, I kind of started creating positions for people to have. So we needed people to start working on how we're going to fundraise, how we're going to plan events, how we're going to make sure we get donations from the class, kind of a whole slew of different things. But the event planning's probably been the hugest component of that.
Nice, Tracy.
I do a lot of helping out with the actual facilitation of the different events we hold. I help sell tickets to our events. I help plan the events. A lot of just assisting this one over here.
Now, how many people are in a part of the Senior Class Committee?
On the committee, there's about 20. So
Now, was there a way to not audition, but obviously they would have to go through you, or?
it was an open thing. We also had a tabled activities night, and we were kind of looking for different people, which we have a few that came that way, but I would say most of it were just people I contacted, club presidents, people I knew who had prominent roles on campus that I figured would be really strong
well-suited,
for that.
Nice.
So.
Now, Senior Class Committee holds events. What are some of the main events that you guys do?
Some of the big ones, we've done an Applebee's fundraiser. We do a lot of tabling events where we're trying to encourage donations and trying to get people to sign up for or sign up on our banner, write their names.
I signed it, don't worry.
Good. And we also do a lot of events off campus, just as another way to fundraise. So we reach all different audiences by doing that. Upcoming, we have a Chevetta's Chicken Barbecue, and we have a champagne reception and a VIP breakfast at Cranston. So just different ways to feature seniors and honor them.
Now, how many events are there in total that you guys have done so far on the Senior Class Committee?
Math.
A lot.
We've had 4 or 5 off-campus fundraisers. We've tabled probably 20 to 30 times. we're pretty much working every single day towards that goal. So
Now, how are the turnouts for like some of the off-campus events?
we were really surprised actually
Yeah.
by how many people showed up for a lot of the different events.
Not
because-
even a lot of them
right,
are
and they
not
don't all,
seniors,
they don't have to be seniors for some of those. But I know our 100 days event, we
I remember
like
that,
Blew
yeah.
everything out of the park. It was awesome.
It was insane. Like it was so many people. Like Old Main was at max capacity, and it was just like
And you guys recently had the 50 days to graduation.
50
as
days,
well.
yeah.
How was that?
that went really well. It was definitely geared more towards just seniors because everyone who donated, we gave a free ticket to. So it was kind of
It's like
Incentive.
knuckling down to the end.
yeah.
Now, these events are usually the remaining events are usually towards like before graduation, obviously.
Right.
Now, Tracy, the senior class gifts. Let's talk about that.
So for our senior class gift this year, we are giving an outdoor pavilion stage, and it's going to be something that everyone can use, whether it's academic departments, particularly like theater and music, or students. It's like a room in the Williams Center. People will be able to rent it out whenever they need it.
It's a multi-purpose stage.
Exactly, exactly. And it's going to be right there in the middle of Dodds Grove, so it's going to be really helpful for things like activities night.
Very
So we can have like FRS and WNYF right up there in the middle of everything. So that's going to be really cool.
Instead of building a whole full-on stage,
Exactly.
now it's run a
It's going to be much
stage.
more cost effective, easy for students to use. We just think it's going to be something that is also going to be really nice to see right there in Dodds Grove. Just
Instead
a little
of-
bit adding
yeah.
to the aesthetic of the campus.
Instead of the little benches.
Yep.
What are some of the gifts that prior classes have given to Fredonia?
We've seen, if you look at the stained glass windows that are up in UC, there is a little, it's like a little pavilion outside of Tim Hortons. You have the fountain, the gazebo, that's what it's called. You have the fountain outside of Tim Hortons, and then
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs in the Science Center.
There are benches on campus. Like some of them actually say like class of on them.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
See, as a senior, I should be more aware of everything.
Yeah.
Now, at being on the senior class committee, you guys have to raise a certain amount of money. Now, how much are we raising this year?
The goal is $20,000, and that would cover the cost of the stage and some of the additional like embellishments we want to add, because we've tried to find a more cost-effective thing to buy. So we ended up buying something that looks more like a pavilion, but the way we're going to build around it and like decorate with like brickwork and stuff, it's going to look more like that sort of park
Nice,
stage that we
yeah.
want. So the stage alone, I think, is around 15, and then everything else is in that 5. So
Now, how much have we raised so far?
right now, I think we're about somewhere in between 13 and 14,000.
Nice. So that's a little over half.
Yeah.
That's really
so we're
good.
doing really well.
Well, I need to donate
Yes,
very,
please.
very soon. Now, you are also senior class president.
Yes.
How is that?
Oh, it's great.
It's busy?
It's basically, I've actually been class president last year as well, and that kind of is a role in the student association. So I serve as a class rep, and I go to all the General Assembly meetings. I'm a senator for University Senate, so I represent the students there as well. So that's kind of just like all rolled into that position. But I think more of the work for the actual class definitely comes in with the Senior Challenge Committee.
Now, I know you speak at graduation. How is that having to speak at both ceremonies?
I mean, I won't know until I do it, but I think the prospect of it is just a little like scary at first, because obviously that's probably the biggest crowd of people I'll speak to, hopefully. So I think it's like kind of just thinking about, I'm trying not to think about how many people are in the room, but just think about what I'm saying and making sure that that's a message worth hearing.
Yeah,
more or less.
definitely. Now, back to the donating to the senior class.
Yes.
Do you only have to be a senior? As a senior, I should know. I definitely need to know. But
Well-
do you only have to be a senior?
Technically, anyone can donate. Recently, we've been gearing our campaign towards parents and guardians of senior class members, and that's been really helpful. Parents are really willing to allow students to really make their mark on campus, which is awesome. Because when you donate $20.16,
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
Yep.
How much is that? That's not a lot at all.
no, it's not. It's really reasonable, and it's really cool because it's got that 2016,
2016,
so everyone
yeah.
remembers it. That's really cool. But it's really easy to donate. You can go right online. We have a page, fredonia.edu/senior challenge. real simple.
We've been calling like a lot. Like we have a
Right.
list of all like parents' names of people who haven't donated. That's like 1,000 people, and we've been calling every day. So
That is-
we're used to saying the script for
Yeah.
that. But
You should know that by heart already.
yeah, there's a lot actually you can get out of donating. We tried to like incentivize it a little bit, so it's more than just I donated, but I don't know why.
It's going somewhere,
So-
obviously.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
been
bunch
good.
of things we can do with it. I mean, you
Yeah.
get your name on
On
a
a
plaque
plaque.
that's outside of the outdoor pavilion stage. So it's going to be right there. Literally, your name is at Fredonia forever. And then you also get honored at graduation. We have everyone who donated stand up, and it's a nice little part of
with your
commencement.
family. And we also we started a new thing this year because we're both PR majors. Something kind of like Humans of New York, where we go around
The Fred
and
Lash
the
has-
Fred
I
Lash
was just
page.
about to ask you guys
Yes.
about that.
So that's been really good for me, especially for writing my speech, because I've interviewed probably about 30 people so far, and I've been able to go to their favorite places on campus and ask them what they're excited for and what
It's
they
very
love.
interactive.
So it's very interactive, and we have a group about five of us working on that all have like cameras and stuff, and it's been really. I think it's like very gratifying to be able to actually like, talk to people in the class that I don't really know, and it's nice to meet them.
Yeah, to actually just to get other perspectives rather than
Right, rather than
what
just
you
mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Every time I take like pictures on campus, I'll hashtag Fred Last.
Perfect.
See me soon.
We love it.
Now, senior shirts.
Yes.
What are they looking like?
They are black, and they have the Blue Devil in white, and then it says seniors, and then there's like some lines. It's very simple. We kind of decided that that's kind of back in now, just kind of a simple shirt. And a lot of times they do like
Yeah,
ones that are so full of words and like all these things, and like they try to do like, in the past they've done like lists of memories, like they'll have like P-dubs and this and that, but I don't think everyone's memories are the same here, so we thought it would be
Yeah, something simple, something people will actually like
Be
be
able
able
to
to look
rewear,
back and
yeah.
wear.
Something
Something that's not
more
gonna
than
go
a
out
gym
of style.
shirt,
Yeah, something very more than a gym shirt.
less than a
Now,
work shirt.
How much is a shirt?
They're $10, and you can get them. It's not really that confusing. You just go to the ticket office, get a ticket, and take it to the student association office because that's where they're kept. So
Nice.
pretty
Real easy.
It's getting down. It's getting down to it.
absolutely terrifying.
Are you guys nervous about? I'm nervous.
I'm very nervous. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and the fact that it's dwindling down so quickly. I mean, people tell you, they're like, oh, it's gonna go by so fast, but you
No,
never really
literally.
think about it until it happens.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
And suddenly your second semester is gone and you're leaving home. Because Fredonia's home, you know.
Definitely. So, what are some kind of like advice you would give to the senior class committee for next year?
Well, I'm a binder person because I like to leave like behind something that's useful for everyone else. So I've already started putting together everything I've done, how to do it, and suggestions.
Oh, that's
which
great.
They don't have to follow them, but that's just to give them something to look at because I never had that. So
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, did anyone kind of lead
like
that?
a couple years ago, Megan Allers was class president, and she made a binder. But so much of that in 3 years, that's outdated,
yeah,
and
it
things
changes a lot.
change. So I've been updating that constantly. So, and I even have gone as far as like putting lists of names of juniors who I think would be good for the committee, just so they have something to start with. But I think setting goals and making sure everything you're doing is always feasible. Like every event you plan, make sure that you can get people there. Every fundraising goal, the gift you pick, make sure it's something that people care about, and make sure that you're also giving back to the seniors that are giving to you. And that's like probably the biggest part of the whole thing.
You're so motivational. Now, for those that haven't probably been able to sign the banner, where can they possibly sign it at?
We're gonna definitely be tabling some more throughout the rest of the semester, kind of to promote our events. It'll also be at the class picnic, which is the day before commencement, and we have graduation rehearsal, which I probably should know what happens during that. I have no idea. And then right
It's
afterwards,
At 4. That's all I know.
Right.
It's at 4
It's at
the day
I
4.
didn't even know
before.
that. You're
It's at
ahead
4.
of me.
It's
Yeah.
fine, don't worry, because I have a final an hour before.
excellent. And then you can come to the picnic and get some food, some drinks, and hang out with your friends one more time before we graduate.
Yep.
Now, where would the banner be hung? Where would it be like?
We're gonna have it at commencement, and then after that, it goes to the alumni house, and we can bring it back for any events we plan, like alumni weekend things, and
Well,
like
I'll be back for alumni.
Class
Yeah.
reunions.
class reunions. I guess that's my job now. So
Well, ladies, I want to on behalf of Fredonia Faces, I want to thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
No problem. Now, thank you so much for talking with us. When we return, we're going to hear the lovely voice of Taylor Latour. Stay tuned for that.
Well, I first started skating with my friend. He had an extra board, and then he just gave it to me, and I've been skating ever since. Well, when I don't land a trick and I have my mind set on something, and I'm not getting what I want, I just keep going for it until I get it right. My mom, she didn't go to college, so she wants me to experience that whole thing, and so I could end up getting like a good job. I think to get into college, I'll have to be determined, just like when I want to get a new trick, and skating's helped me realize I've got what it takes.
Now, before we get into the singing, how did you start singing?
Well, I don't quite remember like how I got into singing because I've been doing it my entire life, but I've been training for the past 6 years with a private vocal coach, and I tried to get into this school, but I didn't get in, but it doesn't matter. I still do it on the side for fun.
You performed at Miss Delta Chi.
Yes, I did. What did I sing? Oh, I sang it last by Etta James.
Which we'll be singing again.
Well, actually, I'll be singing a different song by her, but she's a great singer. I love her. Yeah.
Now, how was that for you, just to sing?
It was a lot of fun. Like, I love being able to sing in front of crowds. Like, it just gives me a thrill, and I love to be able to just put myself out there and get the crowd going. It's fun.
Nice. Well, now, I'll let you take it away.
Okay.
Something told me it was over. When I saw you and that girl talking, something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. When I saw you and that girl walking out. Ooh, I would rather go blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me, child. Ooh, I love you so much that I don't wanna watch you leave me, baby. Most of all, I just don't wanna be free. No. I was just sitting here thinking of your kiss and your warm embrace, yeah. When the reflection in the glass that I held to my lips now, baby, revealed the tears that was on my face, yeah. Baby, baby, I'd rather go blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me, yeah. Baby, 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 I'd rather be blind now.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Taylor, for coming on the show. Hello, everyone. I'm Nunnet Clitandre, and I'm joined by Terry Brown, who's the provost for Fredonia and the vice president for academic affairs. Hello, Terry, and welcome.
Hi.
So, first off, what are your jobs and duties as the campus's provost and the vice president of academic affairs?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking me. I'm in charge of all the academics. So everything that has to do with your classes, the faculty, classrooms, everything that has to do with learning, library, information technology, so all of IT, graduate studies and undergraduate studies, all of those things.
Nice.
Yes, that's the biggest part of the institution and the college is academic affairs. So I'm in charge of academic affairs.
Nice. So what exactly is a provost? What do you
So
do?
a provost is a very old word that goes back to Old England, and the provost was the keeper of the keys in a prison. And then it turned into a title at Oxford and Cambridge, the provost, someone in charge making sure the rules were enforced. And then it's just sort of morphed into the person who's in charge of making sure and ensuring academic quality and making sure that you're having the best learning experience possible. And that's what I get up every morning determined to do.
Do you like it here?
I love it. I love it.
I'm sorry, I was interrupting you. What was you about to say?
I've been here since July 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I came here after spending almost 25 years in the University of Wisconsin system. So after 25 years, I changed jobs and I came out to New York, partly because I have family in New York and because my mother grew up in Brooklyn. My father was from Maine, so this was getting closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found a wonderful campus to work on with great students. I love it.
What's so appealing about Fredonia? Why did you choose Fredonia?
I think that a lot of people talk about Fredonia feeling comfortable and like home. And it feels like that to me. I feel like I love how talented the students are. We just heard Taylor sing, Etta James. I mean, now I want to go. I hope that Taylor makes a record or records it, because I'd love to hear that again. And then Stephanie and Tracy, who were just interviewed here, students like that who are making a difference. Stephanie Willis, who was just interviewed, has encouraged me to be part of the Relay for Life, raising money for cancer research. And I wouldn't have done that if Stephanie hadn't come to my office and said, please help us raise some money. Students are really engaged, they're active. So I guess I would go on and on, you know. I just have, yeah, I could. Yeah.
Now you said you worked at the University of Wisconsin. What did you do?
So I started as an English professor, and that's who I am, really deep down inside. Like in the end, I'm an English professor, and I love teaching, and was happy to feel. And I felt very rewarded by working with students. So I taught English literature, American literature, women's studies, women in film. And then I ended up getting into administration, and because I was the kind of person that when we sat around and we saw that there was something broken, I wanted to go and fix it. So I always liked fixing problems, and that's the kind of work I do every day. Today I was in, maybe some people wouldn't like it, but I love problem solving and making things better, and looking back and saying, oh, we did that together. We saw that something wasn't right. We came together, we listened to one another, and we found a way to fix it and make it better. It's really rewarding to me.
So like from your experience at the University of Wisconsin, coming into a transition to Fredonia, what do you think you brought from your experiences at your last university to our campus?
That's a good question. First thing I would say is that one of the things that's unique about the state of Wisconsin is that it has this thing called the Wisconsin idea. And the Wisconsin idea was created and imagined in about 100 years ago. And the idea was that the university, the boundaries of the university were the same boundaries of the state, so that the purpose of universities was to serve the entire state and the citizenry, to serve the people. That's what a public institution is. So after 25 years in Wisconsin, I came here with a deeply felt value for high quality, affordable public education that was accessible to all people, not just rich people, not just privileged people, but everyone. And one of the things I see here at Fredonia is an extraordinary and wonderful educational experience in a way that is still affordable. It does cost. I know that students sometimes struggle with trying to make it work financially, and we're very aware of that, and we're always talking about how do we help keep it financially manageable. But at the same time, I think it's still accessible, and that's what I'm working for, to keep it affordable for all of you, so that when you get out, you don't have a lot of debt. We think about this a lot. How do we maintain and manage our costs so that we're not passing it on to all of you?
Yeah, and that's really important, and especially with us, because you know the average rate of like student loan debt is so high, especially for my generation and generations coming up. So I think that's actually really important.
Do you know it's a complicated set of factors that has happened over the last 10 to 20 years. 20 years ago, states believed that having more people go to college and be educated was a good thing for everyone. And in fact, we have a lot of research and a lot of data that shows that the more college educated people you have in a town or a city or a neighborhood, the higher their salaries, the more comfortable and they are, the less of a safety net that they need, and it's better for all of us when people are better educated. So 20 years ago, people felt that this was a value that we all wanted to sustain and commit to. Over the last 20 years, the state has renegotiated their commitment to public education, public higher education, and said, we no longer want to commit support at the same level as we have. We're going to cut your budget, and what's happened is the costs have shifted to families. So from states to families. And it's becoming a very serious issue for our society, and that's why the presidential candidates are all talking about it.
You seem really passionate about making education affordable, so I guess what I would have to ask, now that you bring up the presidential candidates, what do you think about Bernie Sanders' plan for affordable or free education, working towards that in the future?
I think that, thank you for asking me that question. We are bringing in a woman named Sarah Goldrick-Robb, and she's coming in next fall. She's been advising the Bernie Sanders campaign, and she's someone who's doing a lot of research on college affordability. So she's coming to campus, and I hope if you all are interested, you'll come out and listen to her talk. Definitely. Because she's passionate about Bernie Sanders' plan. So I see how it's possible to make college free, considering how much the federal government is investing in loans. And the idea is that the federal government is spending so much giving loans and financial aid to people who have enough money and could afford it on their own, or go to private institutions. And that's part of what the argument is, that if we were to fully fund public institutions and no longer subsidize private institutions, we would have enough money for students to go to college free at public institutions. I'm not a spokesperson for Bernie Sanders or his policies, but this is what I understand.
Yeah.
I've heard an economist, and I spoke to someone actually just last week who just wrote about the two policies, and she's an advisor for Clinton. And so she says that Hillary Clinton's proposal is more realistic.
Yeah.
But at least they both are talking about making college affordable.
Yeah, and that's obviously
That's
very
good.
important.
Very important.
Very important. You know, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here.
That's okay.
I just love how passionate you are about this because, you know, not a lot of my generation, we support Bernie Sanders. You know, I know most of the campus supports Bernie Sanders. But what I've noticed is that not a lot of people know exactly what Bernie Sanders plans to do. They just think, yeah, free education, and they just be like, yeah, free education.
Yeah.
But they don't really know what goes into it to reach the goal.
Yeah, and I would love to talk about that with more students and talk about this issue of affordability. It is a passion of mine. Everybody has to play their part. I think states need to realize that they need to invest in higher education, and they need to start making up for the cuts that they've made. New York has not been as bad as other states, but I think we have an opportunity to reinvest.
Well, it's been great having you here. It's been great talking to you. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I honestly enjoyed talking to you. My name is Nunnet Clitandre. Until next time, goodbye.